We also can't just call up a landlord and be like, hey, this is going wrong, please fix it. No, we have to call a company and be like, hey, this is going wrong, and then we have to pay them money. Lots of money.
I am coming up on 2 years of owning my house, and there's definitely a lot of things I didn't consider when going to buy it.
And the market was still correcting, meaning my values declined probably the first 5 years I owned that home.
We also have to pay our normal monthly levies. This is all voted for in a special AGM called by the trustees.
Everything has gone, it's so ridiculous expensive. Homeownership, I'm telling you, it is not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
So buying a house has always been sold as one of the biggest signs that you've made it. You get the keys, you finally have a place that's yours, nobody can raise your rent, and instead of paying a landlord every month, you're supposedly building wealth for yourself. And for a lot of people, buying a home is still a great decision. But there's another side of home ownership that people don't talk about nearly as much, and that's buyer's remorse.
So much regret buying this house. I've been here 4 years and I still regret it. I love when people ask me, how's home ownership going? So I can tell them that it's going terrible.
We were so impressed and commented so much on how clean it was and just did not imagine what we would be walking into.
Because some people finally get the house they spent years saving for, and a few months later down the line, they're just sitting there thinking, what did I get myself into? And today we're going to hear from a lot of people who say they regret buying their houses. And I think part of the problem is that we spend so much time talking about how difficult it is to buy the house, but we don't talk enough about how expensive it can be to keep the house. But before we get further into this video, you guys, if you enjoy my content, please go ahead and leave this video a quick like. I know I sometimes forget to leave a like when I'm just on YouTube watching video after video, so please think of this as your friendly reminder. All right, let's get into it, because we have a lot of people who say they regret buying their house because all of the unexpected maintenance and issues that pop up out of nowhere.
One of my favorite things to talk about is how much I regret buying this house. I have so much regret buying this house. I've been here 4 years and I still regret it. I love when people ask me, how's home ownership going? So I can tell them that it's going terrible. I made this video about 2 years ago after I found out that my HVAC had broken. Of course, it was the hottest day of summer. My AC was sitting at like 84 for days. So I actually paid someone to come and insulate the attic. That was like upwards of $1,000 just to turn around and discover that my HVAC was broken, which ended up costing like $7,200. It has just been the most expensive thing, the most expensive purchase that I have ever made, which anytime anyone asks me how home ownership is going and I get into how much I dislike it and I tell them all the issues that I ran into, they love to just be like, well, that's home ownership, gotta chalk it up to the game. So whatever. So actually last year my basement flooded.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but after a while, now I'm going to be able to finally afford some HVAC and get my AC inside this house after being here for 2 years almost. It is crazy insane. Everything has gone, it's so ridiculous expensive. Homeownership, I'm telling you, it is not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I regret this decision. If it can help anybody out there, and if you are going to go ahead and do it, if it is the right choice for you, and you are going to stay there long term, and you can afford all these fixes, and you do have it, then yes, of course. But if you don't, and you're not 100% sure, just don't do it.
So usually when people get into their first house, you know, they calculate the mortgage, they calculate the interest, and they look at the monthly payment and they're like, okay, this is doable. We can afford this, right? But can you afford the house? Because those are two completely different questions. You might have a mortgage payment that technically fits into your budget, but then you have property taxes, homeowners insurance, utilities, HOA fees, depending on where you live. I know I have HOA fees and I don't even own my place. You have landscaping you have to pay to get done if you're not able to do it yourself. You have pest control, maintenance, repairs, you know, HVAC systems. There's so many things that just add up over the years, unexpected things. Some places have issues with the structure that people don't find out until they actually get into the house. And all those little things and expenses just somehow magically appear the second someone hands you those keys to that house. It's kind of like buying a lemon car, right? You see it, you know, you think it looks good, it sounds good, but but then a month down the road, there's all these issues and there's no turning back because you already bought it. So you just keep pouring money into this car that you know is a lemon by now and you've been had, but it's either that, give up on it, and then go get a new car. That's going to be way more expensive. So you're just stuck between a rock and a hard place. So just imagine that times 100, all right? Because it's not a car, it's a house. So needless to say, the regret from buying a house, if you end up with one that has a lot of issues that you didn't see before, can be super stressful and really damaging.
I cried so much the day that we moved into our house, thought we'd made a massive mistake. So when we viewed the house, we were so impressed and commented so much on how clean it was and just did not imagine what we would be walking into. So this was our mistake completely, as we shouldn't have expected anything. We shouldn't have expected it to be spotless, but I think we just did because it was honestly so clean on the viewings. First of all, it absolutely stunk from the minute we walked in there. They'd left out a bin bag full of food, including old meat, which I presume was just an oversight when they were cleaning out the fridge, but the whole house absolutely stunk. The estate agent told us when we went to collect the keys that the back doors had been left open because they had been doing some cleaning. So I thought, brilliant, yeah. Well, the smell of dog, I'm telling you, I have never smelled anything like it, ever. The entire room was stinking, and that was with big double doors open, and the back door was absolutely covered in scratches. Every kitchen cupboard was sticky, had I don't even know what in it, and needed fully deep cleaning before we could even put anything away. The fridge they were actually leaving for us, so they left that for us, but it had really old spilt milk in it. My favourite was that they had the TVs on the wall, but it turns out to put the TVs on the wall, they had literally smashed a hole on the wall at the top where the TV was going to go, and then a hole at the bottom, and then they'd thrown an extension cable down the back. So when we came in, there were these massive holes, but big holes that had literally just been smashed through with a hammer.
I still regret buying a home. I should have stayed renting. And you know why I regret buying a home? Levies that you pay every month. So I live in an apartment building, and the homeowners recently voted for a special levy to be introduced, a special levy of 10,000 Rand. This is a once-off payment that all homeowners in the building have to pay, 10,000 Rand, because our building, we need a new heat pump because our heat pump has reached its end of life cycle. And the building doesn't have money. So we have to raise money to buy a new heat pump, and each apartment unit and each homeowner in the building has to fork out a once-off fee of 10,000 Rand, that's a special levy, to buy a new heat pump. Not only do you have to pay the 10,000 Rand special levy, but we also have to pay our normal monthly levies. This is all voted for in a special AGM called by the trustees. So we didn't have a choice, because it's either we buy a new heat pump or we don't have hot water for the building, right? So yeah, no, I do regret buying a home.
So another thing about getting a house is that everything is your problem now. This is probably one of the biggest differences between renting and owning, because when you're renting and something major breaks, generally you just contact the landlord or property manager. A window breaks, they have to replace it. That's usually why you have to pay renter's insurance, depending on whose fault it is. I lived in a place before where some kid was shooting BB guns outside and they busted my window. And so I had to end up filing a police report. That's another nugget of information. In case you don't know, if something happens to your property, like it gets vandalized, the first thing you should do is file a police report. All right. That way you have that when you go and you approach the landlord and say, hey, this happened to my property. It's not my fault. I have the police report here. And after I got the police report, everything went smoothly. They replaced the window. I didn't get charged for anything. So that's just a little bit of advice from something I personally went through. But getting back to what I was talking about, when you own a house, everything is on you. The air conditioner goes out. Like I said before, you have to fix it. The pipes burst. And we know that can be super expensive depending on on how old the house is. The garage door stops working. You have to figure that out. Trees start leaning towards your neighbor's house or their car, but it's on your property. You have to figure out a solution to that issue before a branch falls off and ruins their property or their car, and then you're left with yet another issue. And as far as it goes with repairs and stuff that happens unexpectedly in your house, like plumbing, flooding, I don't think people fully appreciate how convenient it is to be able to just call somebody else until suddenly you're that somebody else. Because a major home repair can easily turn into thousands of dollars. And sometimes several things happen back to back. That seems to be the case in life sometimes. They say when it rains, it pours. That's true a lot of times for some people, unfortunately. And in a house, it could be that you fix the plumbing and then the HVAC system goes out. You replace the HVAC system and then discover the roof needs work. You fix the roof and then somebody tells you there's a foundation issue. And then at some point you end up just walking around the house on pins and needles with so much anxiety, thinking what's next, instead of just enjoying your first home purchase.
We also can't just call up a landlord and be like, hey, this is going wrong, please fix it. No, we have to call a company and be like, hey, this is going wrong, and then we have to pay them money. Lots of money. I'm going to say it. It might be a little controversial, but I'm going to say it. I don't think buying a house is all it's cracked up to be. I don't. I said it. There is so much pressure to settle down to buy a house, especially when you have children. And I just want to say it's not that easy for everybody. I think it's easier to settle down and find and stay put when you have family, or you're super close with your family, you have a hometown. Does that make sense? I'm so thankful for our house and so thankful that our kids have so much land to just run free. However, we know we won't be here forever. So, I know, I thought this was gonna be forever. We thought so too. But we live in an area where the schools are horrible. Bad. I will never send my kids to school here. So if I ever want to put our kids in school, we have to move somewhere else where the schools are better. Living in the woods is great, but it is hard being a mother, and I will say I miss the community. I miss walking around. I miss the community pool.
I am coming up on 2 years of owning my house, and there's definitely a lot of things I didn't consider when going to buy it that I now definitely regret. Number one, neighborhood over everything. The area and the location is the most important factor. The neighborhood I purchased my house in was in neither of my top 2 or 3 neighborhoods in Minneapolis, and I should never have veered away from them. My house in those neighborhoods would have been $100,000 more, so it would have been out of my budget. And I wish I would have just stepped back and figured out how to make that work, because right now I'd rather be paying any amount of money more to be living in one of those neighborhoods. Second regret is I didn't really consider how big the yard was. My house is on a double long lot, so my yard is huge and it is way too much work for just me.
Literally, my first house I thought was my absolute worst investment. It was diabolical, to say the least. I felt like this because after I bought my house, I had seen something on the internet or something that was buying the best house on the block was your worst mistake. And that's exactly what I did. I had bought a house on my block that was completely renovated, and it was at the top of the market. I bought my house in 2010, right after the 2008 crisis or whatever. I didn't know no better. I just bought a house. I wanted a house. I bought my house, and the market was still correcting, meaning my values declined probably the first 5 years I owned that home. And then within that 5 years, because I bought that house in Wisconsin, I decided I wanted to move to Texas. Then here come the regret again, because when I was trying to sell that house when I was moving to Texas, I would have had to bring $20,000 to closing because I did not have the values. The neighborhood was not carrying the value. So I ended up renting it out, which was honestly a great decision, because when I rented it out, I was renting a home in Texas when I first moved here. My mortgage was only $777. I rented it out for $1,650, and at that time, I was basically getting a little extra change to cover my rent in Texas and pay my mortgage. So I was really putting like, I was spoiled. When I first went to Texas, I was paying like $500 for rent with the offset. So that was probably the first time homeownership started making sense. Okay, I was like, okay, it's making sense. And then I tried to sell it again. And yes, I was still kind of like breaking even, not making any money. So I'm like, damn, what is they talking about? Like, what? And then COVID happened. So when COVID happened, I said, it's go time. And I was able to sell my house then and make a significant 6-figure profit.
So I do want to say this, buying a house isn't always a bad decision. And I want to make this clear because I know somebody is already typing, so you're saying nobody should buy a house? No, that's not what I'm saying at all, because home ownership can actually provide stability. You can build equity, you can customize your home, and you don't have a landlord deciding whether to renew your lease or not. You don't have to be paranoid about, is this your last year living here in this neighborhood that you've become so accustomed to, in this school district that your kids go to school and they like it. Those are some things that you don't have to worry about when you own your own home. And there are plenty of people who bought homes and would never want to go back to renting. The problem is when we start to push this narrative that buying a house is always better than renting, regardless of someone's financial situation or lifestyle or their circumstances, then we start selling people a false dream, false hopes, and then they get themselves into a situation that they can't handle. They acquire more unnecessary stress when they could have just kept renting. And also, the dream of having your own house isn't just buying the house. And I think that might be the bigger conversation, because for years we've treated buying a house like crossing the finish line, right? You get the keys to your own house and you've officially made it. But buying a house isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of a very expensive responsibility. And that's why some people regret it. Not necessarily because home ownership itself is bad, but because they weren't prepared for everything that came with it. Like I said, the repairs, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, the unexpected expenses, which is undoubtedly number one on the list. And sometimes just the pressure of knowing that this enormous financial obligation isn't going anywhere for decades. So before buying a house, maybe you shouldn't just be asking yourself, can I afford the mortgage? But maybe you should ask yourself, can I comfortably afford everything that comes with owning this house and still live the life I want to? Because there are a lot of people who are house poor. That is definitely a thing where people throw all their finances and everything into their house, and they can't even afford to buy a bed or furniture. They can't afford to go out and do the things that they used to enjoy, like on the weekends, or go out and have a vacation here and there. They are just really strapped for cash because all their money is now going into the house. But I want to know what you guys feel about home ownership. Are you a homeowner, and has it worked out for you? I know there's bound to be struggles, but in the end, do you think that it's better than just renting? Let me know your experiences down below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.